In this video, we're going to look at the equation of a line in slope-intercept form. So let's talk about what the equation of a line means first of all. So any line in a coordinate plane can be described with one equation. And a nice convenient format for that equation is called slope-intercept form. It's called slope-intercept form because it literally tells you the slope and it tells you the y-intercept. So in this particular case, well, in the general example here, whatever number comes before our x or coefficient of our x will be the slope. And as you may remember from a previous lesson, the slope is the rise over the run. It's how steep our line is. The b is going to tell us our y-intercept. And the y-intercept is just where our line crosses the y-axis. So that's our m, that's our b, and x comma y is any x and y, any point on the coordinate plane, any point on that line that we're trying to describe is represented by x and y. Now all of this will probably be a little bit clearer in a second when we start looking at how to give the equation of a line. All right, so first we're going to start off by writing the equation of a line if given the slope and the intercept. So if given the slope and intercept. All right, so let's say, for example, we have a line and the slope of the line is 4 and the y-intercept is 3. If we have our slope and we have our y-intercept, then our y equals mx plus b would be y equals, our slope m is 4, so we're going to put 4 for m, x plus b, or b or y-intercept is 3, so we'll put in 3 for our y-intercept. So the equation in this particular example is y equals 4x plus 3. This is the equation of a line with a slope of 4 and a y-intercept of 3. Okay, so now we're going to take it one step further and we're going to figure out the equation of a line given the slope and a point. So let's see, how are we going to figure out the equation of a line given the slope and a point? There are multiple ways to do this, and I'm going to show you what I find to be the easiest way in my opinion. So let's say, for example, we have a line that passes through (1, 4) with a slope of let's say our slope is 7. And I want the equation in slope-intercept form. All right, well, we know the equation in general will look like this: y equals mx plus b. And we already spoke about the fact that the m represents the slope and the x and y are any point on the line. But in this particular example, we don't know what b is yet, and we need to figure out what b is. So in this case, we're going to take our x and y, and again, our x and y is any point, and we're going to take our m, which in this case is 7, and we're going to plug it into that equation. So now we have y, which is 4, so 4 equals m, which is 7, x, which is 1. We see x is 1 right here, so it's times 1 plus b. Now we can simplify and solve for b. 4 equals 7 plus b, and we can take 7 away from both sides, And we end up getting that b is equal to -3. So now that we know b, which is -3, and we know m, which is 7, we can write our equation just like we did in our previous example. The equation of this line is y equals m, which is 7x plus b, but b is -3, so we can actually just say -3. Y equals 7x minus 3. Make sure to leave x as x and y as y. Do not put numbers in there because this is the general line which tells you all about x and y all throughout the line. So the equation of our line is y equals mx plus b, y equals 7x minus 3. Finally, we're going to look at how to find the equation of a line given any 2 points on the line. So again, we're going to look at how to find the equation of the line given 2 points on the line. So for example, let's say you're told that a line passes through (1, 3) and 4, -2. And you're asked to find the equation of this line, again, in slope-intercept form. The first thing that needs to happen is that we need to figure out the slope. Now, you may remember from a previous lesson that in order to find slope, we need to do y2 minus y1, that's the rise, y2 minus y1, over the run, which is x2 minus x1. So let's go ahead and find slope. Let's call it m for short. So our slope m is, we can label this x2, and y2, x1, and y1. Now, it totally doesn't matter which one I choose to be 0.2, which one I choose to be 0.2 and which one I choose to be 0.1. In this case, I just selected randomly, but we could have called this x1, y1, and we could have called this x2, y2. Doesn't matter as long as we're consistent. So I chose this to be x2, y2. So let's go ahead and plug that in to figure out what the rise over run is, what our slope is. So we have here y2, which is 3, minus y1, which is -2, over x2, which is 1, minus x1, which is 4. So we have here that this is equal to 5 plus and plus, negative and negative, gives plus, over -3. So our slope is -5 over 3. And that is a good start. Now, once we do that, we can move on to our next step, which is to pick a point, any point. All right, so we're going to pick a point, and it's going to be, as I said, any or either point. Let's say either point. I'm going to work with my positive numbers because that's easier to do. So we're going to work with x as 1 and y as 3. And we're going to do what we did before. We're going to plug into y equals mx plus b. So our x, as we can see here, is 1, or y is 3, and we just figured out that our slope is -5 over 3. So let's go ahead and plug those numbers in. Y is 3 equals m, which is -5 over 3, x, which is 1, plus b. All right, so now we can do what we did before. So this step 2, was to pick either point and plug in x, y, and m. All right, great. So now we can simplify to solve for b, and we get here that b is equal to 14 over 3. All right, so now that we have b and we have m, we can now plug into our y equals mx plus b format, and the equation of our line is y equals negative 5 over 3x plus 14 over 3. And that's it for now.